Hey everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are going to be giving the guest bedroom a little bit of attention. This is definitely the room that gets ignored the most by far in the whole house. We just don't have guests all too often, and it's just a space that is so easy just to kind of like shove things that you don't really want to deal with at the moment. But today that changes. My mother-in-law was going to come stay so my husband and I could go to a George Strait concert for my birthday, and I just wanted to make it extra special. And sometimes you just need a good excuse to get into a space and get your hands dirty, so we're going to roll up our sleeves and tackle this space today. Now, the main goal is to use mostly what I already have, but I did want to get some new linens for the space. I purchased a bed skirt, some sheets, some pillow covers, and a runner. So we didn't get a ton of new stuff. So I just wanted to start kind of with the bare minimum that I knew that I needed, and then we can kind of build from there. So this is definitely going to be more of like a part one to this. I feel like in the real world, when you're decorating a space, you don't usually get it done in one day or even 2 days. It can take time, and I didn't want to rush this. The most important thing was getting the space cleared out and at least started. And I can't wait to show you guys where we end in this video, because the space just not only looks much better, but it feels much better. I decided to ditch the blues in here, so we're going to pull off this comforter and these blue sheets. I did so much laundry this day. We washed so many linens and blankets, sheets, towels, everything, because a lot of the linens that I don't want anymore, I'm going to go ahead and donate. So I wanted to get everything all nice and washed and dried and folded, and then I can take everything over to the donation center. So we're going to start by peeling everything back up off the bed. And then I have this shelf. This used to be in my main family room, and I ended up moving it because I put up an arched mirror instead. And I just wasn't totally sure if I wanted to keep it, get rid of it, what I wanted to do. So it went to the guest bedroom where everything else goes, and it has been in here for months and months and months. And even still, while you guys are watching like this first half of this video, I wasn't convinced on getting rid of it yet. This is definitely a process. I wanted to kind of dive in here, roll up my sleeves, and just kind of see where this took me. And of course, the first thing you always want to do is kind of start by clearing out the room. This did turn into a much bigger job than I had anticipated. This clip right here is the perfect example of where I did not plan on diving into pulling everything out of this closet this day. But as I was doing the room, I realized there was just no way around it. So you guys are really getting some raw, real footage in this one of just how, nope, I'm just going to shove it in the closet. We're going to deal with it later. We're just going to get this room looking pretty and functional, to, okay, there's no way around it. We just have to do this. And I'll walk you guys through it as we do it, but it's pretty clear as I'm going how I'm trying to avoid it. And ultimately there was just no way around it. So a little bit of a backstory in case you guys are new here. This wasn't always a guest bedroom. It was once my office. It has desks. It was a workspace. And then we ended up turning it into a guest bedroom / office still. So that's why you saw kind of that longer table here on the side, because I was able to still put a chair in here and work at that, have storage. And it was kind of like the best of both worlds. But I had since stopped using this as an office, and I just want it to be a guest bedroom or a bedroom. So it's finally time to pull out that long table, because I just don't need it for the functionality that I actually bought it for. And I was going to get rid of it, but as I was pulling all of this stuff out of the closet, I decided this closet is a storage space, and if I put that nice long table, you guys, the size ended up being perfect, you'll see here in a second, that gives me storage, because this is a guest bedroom. I do need this closet for extra stuff. And this gave me somewhere to organize and not just pile things on top of each other. So I ultimately decided to keep this table and organize some of the stuff that I know that I want to keep in here. So I have my Cricut machine in here. It's my Cricut Explorer 3, and I have my Cricut Joy. I have my heat press, and this cart, you guys, has just been in the way. And again, I had been in denial on, getting rid of it, but I just decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and pass it along to somebody else. So I actually ended up getting rid of my Cricut machine, but keeping my Cricut Joy, my heat press, and stuff like that. So if I do still want to craft, make t-shirts, stuff like that, I still have a way. But I just don't have the storage space for it, if I'm being honest. So it was a bummer, but that's kind of a part of the process, is you got to learn to let things go if you're not using it. So I made that decision, and here I am kind of experimenting once again, you guys. Here I am. I hate having to make the decision to get rid of certain things. And I thought, wait, maybe this shelf will fit in here and I'll have more storage. No, it was hitting the top shelf here in the closet. But hey, I tried, and so onto Facebook Marketplace, this arch shelf went, and then I'm going to go ahead and just use what I have in the closet now to organize the rest. Now I will break this down further a little bit later in this video, but this table I already had. It was in that far corner of the room with the lamp on it, and it was perfect for that corner because of its size. And once again, I will break all this down, so just bear with me. I will explain everything of why I'm doing it, what's to come, stuff like that. But I just have a lot of home decor, so this is the perfect example of how you will start in a space and then it kind of like spills over into other spaces. So a lot of things were just shoved in here, and this is allowing me the opportunity to put things away in their rightful place and then get those spaces under control. So I kind of went through my home decor. You guys will see in a few minutes, and we will get to that. But I just wanted to get those items off the bed, out of this space. I need a blank canvas to just really feast my eyes on, to really get a plan together. I briefly scrolled Pinterest, but when you're trying to work with what you already have, you really got to get creative. So I went on Pinterest, got some inspiration. I have this beautiful piece of artwork, which I'm kind of experimenting with a few different places in the room. You guys will have to wait and see what I end up doing with it, but this is all artwork that I had already, and I'm kind of pulling from my back stock to see what will work in here. But I've been thinking about plans for this back wall where the bed is on. Also, every time I try and make the bed, the dogs try and climb up on it, and I was afraid Liberty was once again going to try and step on this bed skirt, which she did. She did it when I did this in the boys' room too. So I was trying to talk to her and tell her like, no, don't step on this. I didn't want her to hurt herself and fall through the bars. But anyways, back to what I was talking about. This back wall, I'm really thinking about doing like a peel and stick wallpaper, like maybe like a white brick, or just something to kind of make it more of like a wow factor. But that was a different project for a different day. I'm already kind of like biting off more than I expected, and this light fixture is a perfect example of that. So when I had my office in here, I wanted to put like a pretty little light, and that's what you guys just saw. But now that it is going to like a full guest bedroom, my husband and I ran over to Home Depot and got this light. It's just kind of like, not plain, it's a beautiful fan, but this fan can go so many different directions, and it was a great price. The reviews on it were really good. So as you're watching me do all this, my husband is actually installing that fan, so I will show you guys when that it was done. He also came in and patched up a bunch of like nail holes. I used to have like a TV mounted on the wall when this was my office. and he came in and patched all that, so we're waiting for that to dry, and then we do have like touch-up paint and stuff like that. But my husband was in there doing his thing while I was out there kind of organizing some of my home decor. So I have 2 cabinets out there in the family room where you guys just saw that are full of stuff, just like home decor, stuff like that. So I went through it and put it all in a box, and all that's going to go to donation. And I was able to take some of the decor from this room that you guys saw and get everything organized away into those cabinets. So none of it is here in this guest bedroom anymore, and it is where it belongs. It's in a more appropriate place that makes much more sense. But all the bedding is clean, washed, dried, and the dogs already tried to help themselves to it, as you saw. So I'm gonna get this bed made up. I'm quickly losing daylight, so I did have to eventually stop because the lighting got so bad, and we will pick it up the next day. This is this ceiling fan installed. My husband and 2 boys installed it. He's been trying to get the boys to do like stuff like this with them so they can learn. So they helped put the blades on and assemble it. And then obviously my husband did like the electrical part, but they did a wonderful job. And I will tell you now that this has come and gone. My mother-in-law already came and stayed in here, and she had mentioned what an amazing addition that ceiling fan was. It just makes the room more comfortable. She loves to sleep with the fan on. I did also add a tower fan on in here, and I will continue to keep that in here as I have guests. But the ceiling fan has been a game changer. Again, it's been on our list, and this just kind of gave us the push to get this added in this room. And even for resale value someday, I think, again, it was a really smart move. But I went ahead and put that picture up on the wall. Again, I will explain more of that later. I'm deodorizing the carpet in here. I did get the carpets professionally cleaned about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I have footage, you guys, I need to put together for you and get a video edited, and that will all be in that. I just wanted to get this up for you guys. But I'm letting baking soda sit on the carpet for about 15-20 minutes, and then I'll come in here with my good shark vacuum and give it a good vacuum. You just want everything to smell nice, not only look clean, but you want it to smell clean too. Moving on to day 2, I just lost way too much daylight, and it was getting really hard to film in here. I just have this one window, but I wanted to finish getting this bed made up. I actually hung the comforter and this blanket out to air dry overnight, so it actually worked out perfectly. They were nice and dry and smelling good by this next morning. So it's time to make this bed just look all pretty, and we will get the blankets put on, the throw pillows put on, and then add a few special touches. I ordered these pillow covers on Amazon. I already had the pillow inserts. I like the pillows. I don't know if they're gonna stay though. I may end up moving those to a different area in the house. So stay tuned for part 2 where we kind of more bring this room home. But I think for the time being, I'm just going to keep them there. That nice long pillow has been in my room, it's been on the loft, it's been in the family room, and now it's in the guest bedroom. And I already had this Casa Luna blanket. I had a beige one, and then I have like this more like warm brown one, and I decided this one was best because the bedding is more light and bright, and this just brought in more of like the cozy colors and feels. And I thought it complemented this runner that I got on Amazon. It is so soft, and also pulled colors from the artwork that we put on the wall, and it just made it a little bit more homey and cozy. I did recently pick up this candle. I love these mercury glassed candles. I feel they just look so nice when they're burning. It has a flickering flame, and it's just like glowing through the glass. It's just so pretty. So I didn't have anywhere to put it at the moment, so I just put it here on the side table as like a decorative piece. And then I love putting designer books out for decor as well, so I put a small stack of those on the bottom shelf of the table, again just to make it feel more finished for now. And then I had picked up this diffuser from Target. It was just $20. I loved the globe shape. It has like an iridescence to it, and then the touch of gold. And I know that my mother-in-law loves lavender, so I'm going to go ahead and diffuse some lavender in here. Again, just getting the room smelling really nice. And I just love me a good diffuser, you guys. These are just so pretty and cozy. Pulling from my decor that I already had, I have this scalloped tray, which I love. Again, I've used this in so many places in my house. And then I have this really pretty faux floral display that I'm going to go ahead and put on that tray with some tissues. And then I always love to put out like a few little bites, some little snacks. You know, what if you're hanging in here watching something on your iPad and you just want like a little midnight snack? Again, I will go more detail about how I set up for guests here in just a few minutes, but I love to just put out like little special touches. Your guests know that you're thinking about them, and you know, you're happy to have them and stuff like that. Just hoping they get the best rest possible and that they feel at home when they're staying over at your house. I also this is more of like an impulse buy. I've been wanting to get a runner here for this hallway that leads into the guest bedroom for the main part of the house. And I've owned this rug in a different size before, and I saw it at Target. It was $40 for the runner, which I feel like is pretty decent price. And it's brand new, it's soft, so you know, when you're going into the room or getting up in the morning, go get yourself a cup of coffee. It's nice and soft and warm and cozy on your feet, and I felt like it just warms up the space. So here we are where you walk into the room. There's a little rack to hang like your purse or your sweater or whatever. This is the softest rug. And then you got a queen bed with a great mattress, and it is so soft and cozy with all the different layers. And then I got a little side table with this beautiful diffuser, lamp, and then the remote where you can set, you know, if you want the light on, or if you want to kick the fan up, or even just to turn it off at the end of the day. So you got your remote, and I got this pretty candle, and then some books. And then I put this sweet little tray out. I love having flowers, even though they're faux. In a room like this, with some tissues and then some little snacks, and then I can put out a cold water bottle, so I didn't put that out yet. And then I'll usually set out the Wi-Fi password if they don't have it already. We're still on the hunt for artwork, but I was able to replace the old one with this pretty one, so I'm gonna find another one that complements it and add it. But I'm also on the hunt for stuff for this wall. We do need to touch up that paint, but that's another job for another day. But I don't want this to be a rushed, just grab whatever and then I'm not happy with it type of deal. So I'd rather put nothing than rush it. But I do have to go to the house today, so if I find something while I'm out, I'll put it in this video. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep it like this, wide open. I wanted to have a little bit of a space for the bed on this side, because if there's two people, a couple in here, it's a pain in the butt having to like roll across the other person or come off the end of the bed. So I'd rather leave like a little sliver. Also makes it much easier when you're making the bed. So the goal is to put that table in this corner, because one, you don't really see it and it is a perfect size. So I think I'm gonna move that back over there and then just be on the hunt for a better table. It needs to be a little bit bigger, but we're trying to use what we have. So the lamp I already had, the table I already had, the bed I had, the majority of the bedding I had with the exception of a few things. This is new, but it was such a great deal off of Amazon. And then that is new and I picked it up from Hobby Lobby. But like the curtains, I'm basically using everything I already had. Everything on this tray, this knit, this is a Casa Luna blanket, the white comforter, the shams, that pillow, the pillow inserts, the pillow covers are new, the sheets are new, and the bed skirt is new, and then the rug. But other than that, everything I already owned, and we're just working with what we have. That is the main goal. So I'm not saying this room is done, but I think it is 100% more inviting than the way that it was. And I can continue to build off this. So I think it looks much better. I think it looks so pretty. I would even like to change the bed at some point, but obviously that's not gonna happen in this video. That isn't really, you know, a need or a must. But either way, I think this will be a really welcoming room. The ceiling fan is obviously new, but we've been wanting to do that for a while, and sometimes you need something like this to kind of push those projects. So we're really happy it's done. I lost a lot of daylight yesterday being able to come in here and do things because my husband was installing this, but we were able to just pick up where we left off today. So let me know what you guys think of how this room is coming together. So I'm in the car, I'm headed to Home Goods, but I wanted to go ahead and end this video and I'll start filming a new one right now. Thank you so much for watching this one. Make sure you guys stick around for part 2. Hopefully we can get the room done in this next one, but like I said, not really gonna rush it. We're gonna go out to the store, see what I can find, bring everything home and see if we can come up with a game plan. But like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new. You guys don't want to miss future upcoming videos. So excited for what's to come, and I'll see you guys next time in a brand new one. Bye friends.